No, you can't go back in. Get out. Get out. You're the cat. About 6%. Boo. Huh? Oh. What? Whaley boy! Make some other weird sounds as well. Bam. 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 Hey, I'm BoredGamer. Hope you're all doing good. Welcome to the quarantine stream. Hope everyone is has toilet roll, is eating okay, has made sure their loved ones are alright. Because at the end of the day, in any areas that are currently experiencing problems with the global pandemic stuff, it's typically the more vulnerable and elderly that are more sort of, at risk. I think I'll be fine if I get flu.
33 months. I think that deserves a space whale. Wait, I think CR is just trolling Jared by putting in space whales.
So Chris Roberts may be trolling Jared by putting in space whales, but now we're getting space whale concepts to a higher level. One day maybe we'll be able to fight space whales against the sandworms. That's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream. We live in the future. We might as well monopolise on that. Thank you very much, Hanathcom. Very much appreciated for the resub. But yes, space whales are something we should probably look at. And let's look at them earlier rather than later. We're going to look at them a few times and chat about them a few times. So space whales were shown off in the Inside Star Citizen. They had previously messed around with them in a dev special, Star Citizen-y live type thing. Game Dev Live, whatever they call it. Well, they made something that looked a bit like this. But now they're just doing some art passes and colour passes on space whales, which might both be hunted. Or they might also have valuable materials that are gathered on them that you can go and harvest. Like maybe biological materials, maybe space ambergris. Actually, that's probably something they will do. That's whale vomit, for you that don't know, and used in perfume and a few other things. But do you accept subs in the form of bog roll? I mean, I do, obviously. I mean, that's the new currency of the world. Any money I obviously get today in donations will be put to toilet paper. In fact, let's move over here. Let's go to my Streamlabs, and let's set a new donation goal. Okay. I've already got $500 towards an Idris and ramming it into the sun, so we will do that again later. Toilet. Really nice toilet roll. Yeah, why not? Bam. And oh, why do I have to put in all this information? Why change 20? Bam, start goal. And then I turn this on. This. Oh shit, it works. Mate. We're going to get some really nice toilet roll. Obviously, an essential donation goal. Sorry, Board, I gave your money to Mike this week. Poor bugger lost his job. Salty Mike. So yeah, his casino closed down. So I need to talk to him at some point. Robert Johnston, I appreciate the support, supporting the other people in the community, or whatever. It's all good. I genuinely appreciate the love. No worries at all. It's never expected anyway, and you're incredibly generous, and I have an incredibly generous community as it is, and I do these sort of streams to chat to people more than anything, sort of like get an understanding of what I need to do content-wise, what people are interested in, and sort of like, a bit of interactivity. But yeah, space whales, interesting things. Obviously, we're looking forward to creatures in Star Citizen once we have a bit better AI. Maybe we'll start to have NPCs and animals and stuff on the ground. Probably the Onycrabs and Ranta to start with, sort of like more rats and little flying annoying things, before having stuff that's a bit more complex and a bit more intelligent, that has proper schedules and like goes out to watering holes and hunts and goes around like that. Because I do think that big game hunting and getting materials off creatures will be a thing in Star Citizen eventually. And I'm actually quite looking forward to that. But yes, space whales, they're a thing. They're doing concepts for them. Madness. Jay Lee is going to be on... Oh no, have I lost his art station? I had his art station up a minute ago. Yeah, I do. I got it. I got Jay Lee's art station. Jay Lee, concept artist for CIG, been there for 8+ years now. He's going to be on Star Citizen Live at 7 p.m. later tonight on the Star Citizen Twitch. He's made some pretty cool concepts. Some of his portfolio is on ArtStation. The little flare helmets, Starkitten helmets, which we should see available at some point in game. Twitch Pacheco. Got some stuff that's not just Star Citizen related as well. The Arrow. Some very Titan cool looking suits. The Thing. Got a mecha rock Godzilla. We got something that looks like a cross between a Tavaran and a Xi'an. Obviously the Xi'an are turtles, but it's got like the samurai-esque and slightly more beaky nature. I suppose turtles are pretty beaky. Sneaky beaky like. And we've got a hog boy. Maybe the Kurthag are hog boys. Oh no. But some cool stuff from Jay Lee. Should be talking about it later today. But he's also going to be exploring UE military uniforms, vintage uniforms from the Second Tavaran War. So I love him. He's one of my favourite people in the world. Old Jay Lee. So take a look at that. There's actually an article on Kotaku about him as well. Looking at some of his artwork. And yeah. He's a good chap. I like him. What else do we have? So in Inside Star Citizen, actually I've got my video I can just show. Inside Star Citizen, I've got a video that's just come out. We saw prisons. Actually put this like this. Perfect. So we've got the Klesha automated prison, which is going to be in 3.9. Walking around the exteriors. It's a very unique location. I suppose all locations are pretty unique. We've got the orange jumpsuit as well. But very much looking forward to prison gameplay in 3.9 because it's going to be a huge amount of gameplay there. They've also got these sort of like soft body deforming tarp things that fall down. They're pretty cool. I like the fact they're putting stuff like this in the game. We also have the orange jumpsuit and a bit more glory in the mines underneath Klesha. Lots of people working. I'm not sure if we'll see that many people working beyond an org going down and all getting involved in crime together and then getting put in prison. This is what I was interested in, though. This little penguin boy. What? Little penguin boy. We also had some looking at the UIs for drinks menus and food menus and stuff like that. That's going to be in New Babbage. So lots of new branded food court stuff. Elroy's Coffee. Some burgers from Whammers. Quality UI things. That's new weapons. I love the Lightning Gun Company stuff. Look at this. It's gonna blow you up. They're working out how it's gonna and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and this was cool as well. So there's lots of cool stuff in the sprint. I like sprint reports. So they're basically looking at having plants and bushes and trees and stuff have little skeletons that spawn in when you're close enough to them that you can then move and deform the foliage and stuff. I'm really into that. I think that looks cool. Can you imagine and like an animal running out of that foliage and like moving it, rustling it, getting better levels of detail. They're able to add a lot more detail to all their LODs. We've got work on cargo decks and sort of like cargo improvements to stations. We've done a load of the white box for that now. I think we should see that in 4.1. What else have we got? We got Gibbs and Batista. Some of the mission givers that are going to be at Orison on Crusader. Space Whales. Oh, there was 3 Space Whales, wasn't there? So let's actually go back here. So they're looking at different colours for the Space Whale more than the actual way they look, but it's more just for the colours. So there's some cool Space Whale stuff. We showed off some more of the Acidio Comare, which is going to be in Squadron 40. Beautiful Jay Lee. Mwah. Beautiful boy. Some of his little Starkitten thing. Ah, yeah, so Piss Pit is the anagram for personal inner thought and the inventory system, personal inventory system. And in 3.9, we're getting quite a lot of updates with that. So you're going to be able to find all the controls you want contextually, based on whether you're in your space in your spaceship or you're sitting down on a seat or whatever. Oh, why have people giving me money? There's a lot of money. One second, I'll just finish my sentence, and then I'll praise you for chucking money at me, and I'll do a little dance. Or maybe I'll show you what I got. Oh my god, I've got a great story for people. So we've got the sort of like new UI for personal thought. Hold F, right click, brings up a radial menu. Bam, and you can do a load of. It's about favourite in the American way. That is upsetting me. So yeah, that's. I really like the idea of this. It's got map as well. I'm not sure if that's going to be star map or if that's actually going to be a little bit more interesting map in the future, because we know we're getting some cool stuff map wise in the future, potentially. But yeah, so some cool radial stuff. You'll be able to find all the controls you want, and some you probably didn't know you wanted very easily, and then favourite them and all that sort of jazz. But yes, thank you so much. Oh my, Fire Out has donated $50. Have a nice weekend. Best regard, Fire Out Corp. Thank you, Fire Out Corp. Fire Out Corp. Thank you very much. Oh my. Send me links to your corp, and I'll have a look at it. You know, I'm a shameless donator, moneyman. You sent me money, and now like I'll be like, oh, thank you for the money. Let me look at your org. Thank you so much. Genuinely appreciated. You star. But yes, I really like that as an idea for the UIs. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Got Wally's bar. I was just looking more at the controls. You can set them. Got Wally's bar, which I'm looking forward to doing socials in. Actually looks really cool as location. Got the Idris. Got an Idris mission in 3.9. But that's the sort of main thing. CIG are weathering the storm, as it were, of the virus stuff. Lots of the employees are working from home, they confirmed. I did a video on it yesterday, looking at it in a bit of detail. Didn't monetize that video because I don't really want to desperately profit from the situation. I want to talk about it without, you know, people going, oh, he's only talking about it because it's popular in the news. Well, I talk about anything that's Star Citizen related. And that was very Star Citizen related, so I did want to talk about it in brief and just say, yeah, that might cause some short-term disruption to 3.9, and why, like, by a week or two, I would expect that potentially that could cause disruption to 3.9 Live. But CIG still seem to be trying to get it out on their target date by the end of March, if possible, and they are in a very good position to be able to all work from home if they need to. Almost all the jobs can be done from home for CIG dev. They just need their rigs there, or a rig there, to be able to do it. They're able to deploy their software and share work and stuff like that much very easily, because they've got the infrastructure there for that. So that's at least a good thing. There are, however, some CIG employees in isolation because some of their housemates are ill and stuff. In fact, one of my best mates is currently in isolation. And I made a joke about a didgeridoo the other day. And it's the third day I think they're in isolation. And so this morning, I received a didgeridoo from him. He sent me in the post. This is what happens when bored people. I'm not in isolation. He is, and his house is, and he's already bored enough to send me a didgeridoo. Listen. I think I'm naturally talented with it, so don't you worry. I'll get a bit better, and maybe we'll start streams with it. Just that's how you know my stream has started. But thanks, Cameron. You're an idiot, but I love you. This is also the man that when I was playing Fallout 76 and talking. Okay. See if people in here can get this. I have talked about this before. I got a package from him after playing Fallout 76, after searching for salvage and talking about that a lot with my friend. And I'm gonna give you some of the clues to what the fuck this was talking about. So we were getting glue in game, or adhesive, yeah, in game, a lot, and it was one of the things we needed the most. It was sort of like our bottleneck to playing that game, to making stuff what we wanted. And Cameron's listening on comms while we're playing, and he sent me something. And the next, at some point, I received a package, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It was two tea strainers. Yeah, 2 tea strainers from Amazon. What is this? And so I went online. I was like, "Someone sent me this weird package." And he was like, "Oh, I sent that to you." Like, okay, why? Like, think about it. It's like, what do you mean think about it? Okay, it's like, what have I sent you? 2 tea strainers. Yeah, but what is that? What's another word for that? Tea sieves. Yeah. But what if I just sent you one? Adhesive. This is the kind of jokes that could make people in isolation go fucking mad. If they... Oh. So yeah, this is what I have to deal with. I mean, it's nice, but it's weird. So I hope you're doing well, Cameron. I mean, I talked to him earlier today. He's doing fine. But yeah, so some people, CIG-wise, are in isolation or working from home, or both. So good luck to everyone that's caught short by the Doom Plague. And I hope everyone's doing genuinely well. I know a lot of people are sort of like depressed about stuff. If you need human contact, come and say hi, come into my Discord. I'm going to be playing a lot during the day, starting from probably a 2 weeks' time. I'm looking after my dad at the moment and doing some stuff around the house and getting ready for 3.9. Zin might start working for me a lot earlier than not earlier than I wanted her to. I wanted her to start working last year. But I was planning to have her work for me starting from June, but that might actually be starting to work for me in April, sort of part-time and then full-time after that, because lots of people's works are heavily affected by what's going on at the moment. Like, they're not getting any work, some industries. So they're having to lay off employees or make them redundant and that sort of stuff. So with that in mind, she's working like half the amount of time she would normally. They're sort of like reducing her hours. So it's like, I can start working for you if you want. Yeah. Or at least learning and understanding what she needs to do for me. So there'll be a lot more gameplay going on. There'll be a lot more testing out with stuff in videos. I hope that is useful for people. But I will need to get feedback from people, what they like, what they don't like. And we're playing other games and stuff as well. But hopefully this allows me to do a lot more and produce significantly better content. I want to have the same sort of ability to get shots and B-roll that Morphologist does, but also have a dedicated editor that's able to put a bit of pizzazz and, production value to my videos. I don't really have production value. I have a voice. I can talk over B-roll. Bam. Interaction and voice. That's pretty much all I do. Yeah. Was that an elephant fart? No, that was me masterfully playing the didgeridoo. You make one... So the reason that's come about, and I'll tell you some of it, because I don't want to tell you the whole story, because I'm not sure if it's appropriate for YouTube and Twitch. We were talking about... If someone was deriving pleasure from you playing a didgeridoo in the room next door, and you were so you're playing the didgeridoo, and you know someone's getting pleasure from it in the room next door, would you still play it? That's basically it. And then it got a bit weird, like putting the didgeridoo through the wall, getting £500. It got weird. But that's the... Maybe we'll save those kind of stories for BoredGamer at night. Or BoredGamer Uncovered. But, yeah. I hope people are doing well. So a weird story. So lots and lots of stories coming out of CIG, them working from home and them looking after the studios. I don't think there's going to be that much disruption. There could potentially be a disruption to stuff later on, like a more major one. Minor ones are sort of like expected. But like CitizenCon, if by the time we get to CitizenCon or near CitizenCon, there's still lockdowns in effect, or people aren't confident enough to travel, then they'll probably cancel it or do something else. That would be my expectation. So what have we got? Let's have a look at some of these questions. Oh man, I've let this one rolled. Any chance of Star Citizen coming to Xbox and PS5 Xbox X Series in like 2023 or something. There is a potential that Squadron 42 could be released on next-gen consoles. I don't see why not. Originally, they basically said consoles aren't appropriate for Squadron and Star Citizen, but if there's enough power there and the port isn't hard and doesn't break the game, doesn't reduce the quality of the gameplay experience that they want, I don't see why they wouldn't. I would expect CIG to be keeping their options open. I can only talk about what I expect with that. So that's my hot take on that. Now, they were looking for people that were able to work with console programming and stuff a little while ago as well. Although I suspect they've got cross skills between everything they need. Yeah, so I'm incredibly lucky with what I do as a job and as a living, that I'm largely unaffected by any issues that can arise from social distancing, from isolation, from all that sort of stuff. Like I live my life online anyway. I'm already prepared to get all my groceries online. I socialize largely online. Yeah, I won't be able to, like, typically I'd go out once every 2 weeks to a pub or a club or whatever. Won't do that for a few months. I'm kind of okay with that. Doom Eternal is amazing. Great. I've got a copy of it. I'm downloading it at the moment. I will be playing it with Kit and DC, probably, maybe Zin as well. We're going to be doing the 2v1 stuff. There's the Doomslayer, or the Doom guys. It's Doomslayer versus two demons, and I'm really hot for that. But one of my mates that used to be a Quake 3 pro, who's a YouTuber as well, he said when he was able, because he went to like a Bethesda thing a while ago, where he was able to play some Doom Eternal, he said it is big as a difference for him in quality as Quake 2 was to Quake 3, and just as exciting for him. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be pretty good then. So I'm very much looking forward to playing a Doom Eternal later tonight. But I'm also at the moment playing a bit of Apex Legends, but Borderlands 3 as it came out on Steam. And Borderlands 3 is okay. It's not amazing by any means. So right now, Bored Animal Crossing has 22,000 Twitch views. Oh my god. Should I get Animal Crossing? I like those kind of games, oddly. Jobless for a month. So some people, being jobless for a month, if you're lucky, is like a holiday. Other people, it's like, well, I can't pay my rent. Oh, don't clip that. I need to go wash my hands. I've just done. I'm following the UK advice. I basically just contaminated the universe. Bear with me 1 second. That was pretty rough. That is actually an annoying thing. Oh, what have I done? I've knocked something over. It's fine. It'll be good. Don't worry about it. Someone sent me bits. Thank you very much for the bits. Don't get our chair sick. He's fine. He's already had it. If anything can survive my arse, it can survive coronavirus. I'll tell you that for nothing, mate. So yeah, it's my birthday next week. I'll be 35. 35 years young. Look at me. Look what I do for a living. Not even a real job. I was looking forward to going to my mate's board games convention thing that he does called Shake, Battle and Roll. It used to be called Stabcon South. I'm really, really excited for that. It's one of my favourite events of the year. They do it like twice a year. But cancelled, obviously, because of the outbreak stuff. So that's a bit I'm So I am a little bit upset I won't be able to go out on my birthday, but I think a lot of people have to do a lot worse, and are going through a lot more bullshit. My main concern actually for what's going on at the moment is people isolating and getting lonely, not being used to socializing online like I am. So I'm going to start organizing some stuff and be a bit more active, chatting to people. You know, be nice to your fellow human. Reach out to them. Maybe don't go visit them, but maybe you should. It's not that dangerous out there or whatever. Just as long as you're safe and careful, in my opinion. Be good to one another. Day 37 of not licking people. I know it's hard. What do you think Drake will call their space whaler ship? Oh, the Plunderer. There'll be something like that, won't there? Call them. Yeah, they call it something like that. Is Microtech Penguin going to be in-game pet? But it's not a pet. I mean, it was like a little statue. But I suspect it will be in-game flair or a little secret thing. They've got the bear in the mines and things like that. So, it's probably another little Easter egg boy. Easter egg boy. There's only so long you can. I can't word that in a way that's not monstrous. Sorry for the dad joke. Is bog roll the now B-roll for streamers? If I had a load of toilet paper, I would have it, and I'd be giving it away as prizes, mate. I'm having to scrape it up on these. No, I think we're good. We're good. So my advice is order regularly small amounts of things. That's what I'm doing. I've got basics in the house, so if I didn't get deliveries for a week, I'd be okay. But I've got already ordered my supermarket deliveries a week after another for the next 3 weeks, and then I'll keep on making sure that I'm at least got a slot every 3 weeks for every week. Do you see what I mean? And then I'll just edit the orders before they arrive, so that I've definitely got what I want. Do you think CIG's inclusion of space whales in game is an actual meme about whales who support them, including self? In a sense. So space whales in game would have at least been influenced by the term space whales, referring to backers with loads of money, or people that put a load of money into the game. There's definitely an influence in some way at some point there. How much of the Star Citizen assets are ready to be ported into the persistent universe once they solve servers? What? There's a lot of things that they're working on and they've half worked on, and there's loads of Squadron 42 stuff. I don't know what you mean. What? There's a lot of stuff they can work on and introduce once server meshing or the servers or the full persistence, server-side container streaming, all this sort of stuff is being worked on. What? So the Squadron 42 assets and work will be drip-fed into the game in the shorter term. And longer term, once Squadron 42 is out, you might see a lot more like gameplay area and stuff from Squadron 42, like the Odin system. But 3.9 got the Idris coming now. Obviously, there's a huge amount I need to do for netcode-wise, AI-wise, core gameplay-wise. There's huge amounts to do with Star Citizen. We don't know the roadmap schedules beyond what they show on the roadmap, which shows sort of like 2.5 quarters of work. Triggered by American spelling, but did you see the vehicle garages on Microtech They drove on the left. No. What do we got? Touch the armrest. I'm going to purge them now. Does the personal inner thought wheel remove some skills based around knowing your ship, i.e. knowing where all the buttons and switches are? Well, yeah, it does. You can put as much effort into learning where the buttons and controls are as you want, but you can also use hotkeys, or you can use the personal inner thought. There's just extra ways to interact with the world at large. And you can even go, I don't know what my hotkey is for this button, or I haven't set one. What is it? Go on the radial wheel, right click on it, bam, and then set it as a new hotkey. Is the rumour I heard while playing online earlier true, that UEC is staying in 3.9? So, they are able to, if they want to, as far as we are aware now, with the persistent data stuff, long-term persistence, they are able to keep UEC purchases, your ships, your UEC number between patches. However, there was loads of exploits in the 3.8 branch and in 3.8.2, which they may still decide to wipe because of. So bear that in mind. They might persist 3.9 stuff for players, for all players, for some players, or they might wipe it for everyone. Smart's been cool because I sneezed on my hands. Oh man. What is the major feature? What is the major features that come with 4.0's release that warrants a big number branch change from 3 to 4? Mostly because they've run out of numbers in 3.9's branch. So you got 3, 3.8, 3.9. That then goes to 4.0. They will probably have some features that they tout as being big, but it's going to be semi-relevant to me. It's just a number change as they move up there. Also, we don't know exactly what's in 4.0 yet beyond what they showed on the roadmap, and we know there's probably going to be a lot more in there. Or some extra stuff in there. I apologise for infecting anyone by sneezing. Your thoughts on a wipe for 3.9? I've heard players speculate about a partial wipe. What do you say? If CIG have been able to track people that are doing exploits, or they can look at people's accounts and go, how did they get 20 billion UEC? Well, they probably used various means. Then maybe CIG can can wipe those players and keep other players. Maybe they can do a partial wipe. Maybe they'll. But I don't know to what extent they're able to track players at the moment in game. I really dislike in-game pets. So I love pets in-game. In Borderlands 3, I play Flak. In other games, I like to play Necromancers or anything with pet classes. Love pet classes. So I love pets in games. I'm not sure if I love the idea of pets in Star Citizen beyond ones that you keep in like terrariums or that are effectively static. I'm called aesthetic pets and flair pets. But I don't know if I really want an NPC dog that follows me around like dog meat. Do you think 3.9 comes on the PT today? I think the earliest we would see it would be this weekend. There's going to be at least some disruption caused by a lot of CIG staff now working from home and some bits of the country being in lockdown, or not like super lockdown, but more lockdown. People being ill and stuff. So, I mean, it's possible that we could see a delay in 3.9 by a week or two. And that would be a knock-on effect to the PTU. So it's possible they'll try and get something out for this weekend, but I would expect it more like next week now. When can we buy a caterpillar full of toilet paper? I don't think anyone has enough money in Star Citizen at the moment to be able to buy toilet paper and go. So it's a lot of It's a lot of money to buy toilet paper. Do you think they'll make a joke? Do you think they'll do a little troll with toilet paper as cargo? I do. I think that's very possible that CIG will put a little mission in like that. Steehath, thank you very much for that knock and for that question. Or whatever that was. When can we buy toilet paper? Soon. Maybe 3.9. But they do want eventually hygiene to be in as part of the player status system. You're going to be eating and drinking. You're going to be needing to use that toilet paper. How much do I have to spend in the game to become a space whale? I think people that have spent $1,000+ are technically space whales in name. Concierge is space whale, right, Ted? What is going on with the Origin M50 rework? As far as I know, it's some light little tweaks to it. They're redoing the cockpit stuff. You should see better sort of like light reworks for materials and stuff. And they're reworking the landing gear so it works proper. As far as I'm aware what's happening. And I think it's still in for 3.9, or I don't know for sure. Big headline for 4.0 might be the iCache, since a fair whack of stuff is being held up by that tech. Yeah, I mean, yeah, iCache. Now they've got like a huge amount of the bottleneck out of the way with UI stuff as well, which is pretty good. iCache is super important, obviously. Server-side object container streaming getting updated. Full persistence, iCache. There's a lot of stuff they could potentially have in 4.0. So yeah, it'll be some new tech, and they'll tout it to being a bit more impressive than it is. Because I mean, what I mean by that is that sort of like every step towards new tech and core tech and a more completed game is a huge step for Star Citizen. But do you know what I mean? It's advertising. It's just sensible for them to market like that. Will Squadron 42 release on the PS5? Tell us. I think it's a possibility that they might port over with powerful enough consoles, Squadron 42 especially, to console. I think that's genuinely a thing they may do. Whatever happened to the Tier 0 repair missions they talked about around 3.7, where you could repair vending machines, go around stations and repair stuff like that. So they do test missions, and they do sort of like R&D into things that they'll either put in the game in the future, or they're messing around with, testing physics and stuff, and testing interaction. So you might see that sort of stuff in the future. I think what the internal talks were about the stocking vending machines and repairing space stations is, what would you do in-game if you lost your last ship and you had no money? There needs to be a way that players can generate money so they can rent a ship or repair their ship or whatever. And that was one of the ways they had discussed. Skip, if this was asked earlier, but when do you think we'll see the Cutlass Blue finished? I mean, it's possible that they're sort of like, have it ready for 3.9, or, part of the 3.9 branch, because we already know that they've got a 3.9.1 planned, where you're going to see the Emerald P72. So it's possible that it's part of that. If not, then 4.0. I think more likely for 4.0. Are the constellations being reworked? We don't know. There's a hint of that, potentially, because they've taken so long to get the Constellation Taurus, which seemed like a simple sort of like ship to get out after they had the Constellation series already in. They've taken so long with that there is the potential that they are doing some light changes to the rest of the internals of the Constellation, like maybe making them strutless in the cockpits or something. So that is a rumour, but it's not confirmed. Do you think we will get salvaging gameplay? When do you think we'll get salvaging gameplay in the future? 4.2 probably, 4.1, 4.2. I would expect it in the late part of this year. My expectation. I think it's such a major thing to get a gameplay loop out like Salvage that they've promised for a while, but actually showed they can do it. I mean, we know they were able to get a reasonably good sort of like gameplay loop with mining in its very basic form, especially for Alpha. It's pretty impressive, or at least pretty polished. Do you expect AI to be more responsive in the 3.9? They are mega derp right now. They are indeed mega derp. They've said that they've been pushing towards better server-side object container streaming. They've been working on AI, and we know that they've been trying to fix the desync and some of those problems as well. So that appears to be the plan, to have better AI. Certainly couldn't fucking be any worse. I'm not sure if people will have to poo in-game. I think that hygiene will just be a general thing that you can deal with over time, and you'll need to shower or poo or pee or whatever. I'm here and I'm doing well. What I miss? Thanks, bud. Thanks very much, Shite, for the money. I will wipe it all over my face. I'm not supposed... Licking money is probably a bad idea currently. Why have you sent me 200 knock? Board and beer. Perfect start of the weekend. Oh, Steha. Thank you very much. I appreciate the knock. You've got a nice little orange border as well. I probably will grab some wine later, or some beer and wine. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you guys. I do appreciate people chucking money at me. All I'm doing is just trying to chat about random stuff. So, are you excited more for Microtech or Orison? Orison or Orison. I love the idea of a floating cloud city. Gas cloud tech is a huge thing. Shipyards there are a huge thing. It's going to allow for a lot more gameplay and interesting stuff. So yeah, I'm very, 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 very excited about Orison. But thank you very much for people chucking money at me. It's very much appreciated. A perfect start to the weekend. A load of knock. What is it? Is it Krona? Krona? Norwegian? No. I don't know what currencies are, apparently. When do you think the iCache will make it onto the roadmap? It might not make it onto the roadmap. It's not something necessarily they need to write on the roadmap. I mean, I'd like them to write features like that on the roadmap. They sort of like a lot of the underlying tech is not shown on there, but I think it could appear in 4.0 because they've been working on it, and that sort of like makes sense for them. They'd implement it, and then you'd see either part of that branch or the next patch probably full persistence or deeper persistence. Kilroy62 here. Any word on adjusting the trade prices? I expect a bit of an economy rework in 3.9, and there's going to be new commodities like Quantanium, stuff like that. But also, just from patch to patch, they do a bit of a rebalance. Do you think we'll see Wave 1 PTU today? I think we might see some delays because of lots of CIG employees working from home. I know once the EVOCATI patch is in a state where it is playable by others, and they've hammered out bugs that make it frustrating to play, or once they hammer out bugs that then make it sensible for them to test other things with more people, then it will go to first wave PTU. And it will be literally no sooner than that, no later than that. So they've just announced that cafes and pubs are going to be forced to close by the government now. Okay, that makes sense. It's the public meeting of people they're sort of like trying to close down in the UK at the moment. I do have a hammerhead, I believe. Next week, I'm hoping that we'll be able to play on the PTU. We want to start streaming gameplay a lot more. Zin will be working for me soon, even if it's just partially. Let's jump on that bandwagon and get some more gameplay on the go. And then, I think it's sensible to start doing a lot more gameplay. Maybe even starting this weekend, but probably more likely next week. Just because people are at home, people are isolated. I want to be able to talk to people more. I'll stream as much as I can. Let's do that. It's Norwegian super low right now. Thanks. I appreciate it anyway. I certainly appreciate it. I don't know. I have no idea how much it's worth. It's probably worth a lot. Thank you so much. Oh, I mean, the pound's gone down the gutter as well, mate, so don't you worry about that. Thank you very much, Steho. Oh, you star. You legend amongst men. And women. And people. And animals. Space whales. What exactly is iCache? So iCache is the item cache. It sort of stores all the locational and database information for items in the game, and sort of like their circumstances, where they are, what they're doing, any of their stats changes, their damage, all of that sort of jazz in a nice database, and obviously that's incredibly important for ships, items, gear, loot, everything like that. And it is a prerequisite for server meshing, for full persistence, for all that sort of jazz. We've been working on it for a while, and it looks like it's being implemented this year. Do you think E-War will include disrupting takeoff at player bases, i.e. during sneak attacks? Disrupting takeoff at player bases. I think general gameplay. So, okay, say you're fighting an organization. Disrupting and interdicting and harassing them while they're trying to get to a battle is part of that. I think E-War will allow you to do a lot of things. Interfere with ship sensors, spoof things, confuse sensors, disrupt comms, lots of stuff like that. EMPs and sort of like that sort of stuff I would expect to be included in that as well. Do prisons come with the initial 3.9? Yes, that is the plan. Do you think org bases of operations will be a thing? Yes. Yes, I mean, that is the plan. Maybe for cargo storage, production, ship production, and storage, that sort of stuff. Okay, so we're not sure to what extent what types of base you can build. We know that there's going to be different types of outposts that you can build using the Pioneer, and some of these will help or allow you to exploit resources on planets and stuff. Obviously, there's going to be ones that are used for storage, but is there going to be ones that allow us to craft things? Maybe. We don't know yet. I'm hoping that we get the ability to at least build fuel or craft fuel, munitions, repair items, stuff like that. So that if you are out of the UE territory in sort of like unclaimed zones, put a base down, you can be self-sufficient there. And the idea is that orc wars will be trying to dislodge people's bases and push them out of the zone because they can't resupply anymore. The filter does not like the word fap and is auto-blocking anything that uses the word that word in it. Me. It's a lot of money to me still. Thank you so much, Deha. Genuinely. When they limit components for ships, will we be able to fine-tune, let's say, civilian components, get work closer to their profiles, i.e., get my Civ-loaded Connie closer to a stealth loadout? Yeah. So, 100% you'll be able to change components on your ships to be more stealthy. You're not going to be able to have like stealth cloaking fields or anything like that, but you'll be able to be more stealthy by the components you pick, and then you'll be managing your components, the amount of heat they generate, how much power you put into them, that sort of stuff, and the environment you're in. And all of those together make up the stealth components of the game. But I suppose then there's an element of what the opponent is armed with in regards to scanners and radars. How good's their passive radar? How good's their scanner? Where are they pinging? Is it worth to buy Squadron 42 now in a game package or later separately? Squadron 42 will go up in price later separately when the game's released. That is my that's my expectation and understanding of it anyway. When they limit components for ships, will we be able to fine-tune, let's say, civilian components to work closer to... Okay, yeah, that's what I read earlier. My brain didn't take that question in. But yes, you'll also be able to have subcomponents in some items. So you'll be able to have like your power plant, civilian C-class power plant, great. There'll also be a couple of, some, based on its size and based on its type, subcomponent slots. You'll then be able to put different types of subcomponent in, which will further affect its stats. Hope all is well, sir. It's doing okay. My dad's super depressed at the moment, sort of like super tired. He's recovering from cancer and stuff, and he's sort of like sleeping all the time at the moment. So sort of like looking after him. Not had a great time of it. So hopefully he feels better soon. But other than that, everything's pretty fucking good. So I'm ready for isolation. I'm good with that stuff. Like, I play games and socialise online all the time anyway. I love cooking. I've got a lot to keep me busy during the day. I can work from home because I work from home on my own business. And I don't have huge liabilities of having loads of other people work for me or anything. I'm just about to take on my first employee, which I was worried to do because I was like, well, if it doesn't work, I have to get rid of them. But it looks like they might be made redundant from their job anyway, potentially. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool because I can take you on with less risk or less guilt if it goes wrong. Do you see what I mean? What will exploration gameplay be like? So, lots of things come under the exploration umbrella, but it's going to be largely points of interest, finding locations, finding points of interest, surveying, stuff like that, finding asteroid fields, going exploring nebula, and doing sciencey type things, gathering data on things, selling locational information. It's lots and lots and lots of that type of stuff. And like finding these points of interest in missions and going, what is this? Oh, this is an alien ruin. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is a black hole. What's this? This is another destroyed salvage site. This is an asteroid field. This is a ore vein on a planet. There's loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff like that could be under the exploration sort of umbrella. But it's also going to be the finding of jump points and sort of like temporary jump points potentially that allow you to jump within the same system, or have a new connection to another system that's across the other side of the galaxy or whatever. But they might only last for a certain amount of time. It's like these new trade routes and stuff like that. Parallel sale possible for this weekend or last minute with 3.9 live? I would expect it when 3.9 goes live, personally. Question, on your ship display, when you mouse over the shield display and click 1, you're talking about shield hardening and talking about... Sorry, I don't entirely sure what you're talking about specifically. Sorry. You put more power to shields. You can shield harden with some ships. You can overclock. Shameless promoting of Game Glass launch sale premium for Star Citizen. Launch bundle. Game Glass. I love Game Glass. I haven't used Game Glass for the last couple of weeks, admittedly. But I do love Game Glass as a product. It turns like your touchscreen devices, whatever they may be, into diegetic control panels to use as control devices. Bam! Really fucking useful things. And they've got free modules and stuff for Star Citizen specifically. There's paid for versions, which give you more control and more stuff. More shards, as they call them. But it's a cool product. Use the code BoredGamer for a discount. Pow, pow, pow! Any word on removal of security forces and interdictions in the 3.8.2 batch? Expect tweaks in 3.9. You should still see security forces interdicting people. You should see them again interdicting people properly in 3.9, I believe. Unless it damages server sort of like stability / performance. Will the penguin in a spacesuit from the trailer yesterday be a viable object? I would expect it to be Flare at some point. Why not? Hey Board, will there be an in-game transferring money or mailbox instead of doing a beacon eventually? Yes, there will be player-to-player transfers eventually, probably as part of the accountancy app once we get it, or at least maybe it might be a bit after we get the accountancy app, or should be part of the accountancy app. Not for 3.9 though. Do you like this turn, the game into survival? I don't think what they've added to the game makes it into a survival game. It's very light survival mechanics, needing to eat once every 8 hours or so, or 6 hours or so. That's sort of fine with me, as long as it's not maddening. So once it's in our hands, I can have a bit more of a opinion on that. Cool, got all that. Why is a wipe in 3.9 needed? So it might not be needed. So 3.8.2 and 3.8 branch in general, but 3.8.2, let's talk about that. That had some exploits, so people could make a huge amount of UBC, a broken amount of UBC. And CIG have basically said, if exploits occur, we'll probably still wipe so that people are on level footing or whatever, because they want to suffer testing. So it's possible they'll wipe because of that. It's possible that they might not wipe and just let that go through. It's possible that they will wipe on players' accounts that looked like they used an exploit if they were tracking them well enough. So it's a possibility. that they might wipe in 3.9 because of that. Someone has sent me another $20. Oh, the sleep. Bored should do his own up. Bored should do his own up pitchfork to make his own kingdom of Bored. What? You sent me $20, so I need to understand this statement. I love you, the sleep, by the way. Bored should do his own up pitchfork. His up pitchfork to make his own kingdom of Bored. I'm so confused. I'll happily make a pitchfork and I'll happily rant about things. I love you, the sleep. I have no idea what you said, but money talks, and you sent me $20. So I appreciate that. Uwu? What's your best guess on what Banu bathrooms will look like in the Banu Merchantman? Japanese-style toilets would be my expectation. They're going to poo in a hole and you squat down. I think they're influenced by Babylon 5, though. The Banu, I think they're like the... what was Delenn? What was... Do we know what tools are going to be available to assist in coordinating players and or AI turrets? I'm thinking the carriers could at least do with some sort of ATC position. I think you're going to be able to see what your friends are targeting beyond just on the little mini-map showing where the turrets are pointing. I think it will actually show targets that are being targeted by other mates. They are doing a load of UI improvements and expect the simpler, like, what's sensible to have here? What's easy to do to have here? Expect that. So expect like your people can mark targets, people can show that they're targeting them. You can also confirm that you're targeting that. There can be people coordinating it, saying target this one, that sort of stuff. So very basic things. Sergeant Hack, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Thank you for the... Oh, I love it when people sub to me. Sorry, I got a bit excited there. Do you know when the Sober will go on sale again? Expect ship sales throughout the year, but all ships should be on sale around the 23rd to 24th of November for the anniversary sale stuff, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. It's possible we could see first wave PTE today. I just think it's unlikely because of the at least some disruption caused by a bit of a lockdown in the UK and around the world. So expect maybe a few days at least before first wave. I mean, they'll be trying to get first wave out if it's at all possible. Like quite genuinely, it's possible it could go live. It could go to first wave this week, this weekend. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm expecting a week or two delay in 3.9 live because of the disruption caused, but nothing major. Bored should do his own Operation Pitchfork to make his own Kingdom of War. I like that. Operation Pitchfork. Yes. Pitchfork. Yeah. So, I mean, I want to get involved with Operation Pitchfork. I think that would probably be the most sensible thing. There's people much better at me that organise stuff. In fact, one of the joys of when Zin's working for me, she will be organising community stuff and things for me to do. Like I need that sort of level of personal assistant and someone that's got organisational skills like her. Are the org spotlights coming back? Yes, I promise they are. I've been so lazy and terrible at it. I've had a short list of about 12 orgs that I need to go through. I'll tell you what. For this weekend, I will choose an org and get back to a couple of them and start recording it for next week. Yeah? Does that seem fair? I need to find the lines I recorded for Paul Shelley for his Jump Down Wars series as well at some point. I've been really totally forgot about them. Mambari, thank you very much for the Babylon 5 race. Are you still planning to name your Idris the Unboardable? That was the plan, wasn't it? Unboardable. That was the poll name. I've got a huge amount of stuff in documents which I need to do at some point, implement. But once we have an Idris, we will do that. Do you think it's a bit silly that the only reason they haven't released the blue and removed it from the roadmap is because of the colour? It's probably not just because of that. There's probably some other tweaks and stuff they want to do internally as well. I mean, obviously they did have to build it out, and they wanted the cells and the prisoner pods, which they hadn't finished. I think the first time I see the prisoner pods is on the Caterpillar prison transport mission in 3.9. But it's one of the reasons they hadn't finished the final art pass, which is choosing colour. When and what do you think the next ship will be for sale? Stay safe, mate. So I'm thinking we'll see something for 3.9 that's straight to flyable. They've talked recently about a Origin ship, which might have something connected to exploration or surveying or something like that. Some people have thought maybe it's an Origin Rover. Some people have said, well, maybe it's an Origin capital ship. Others are sort of like saying, well, maybe it's a exploration-y type ship or something a little bit smaller for an exploration ship. The truth is we don't really know. There's lots of stuff that I'd love to see in-game, from Titan suits to the Sidnus Spider Miner, to battle cruisers, to more ground vehicles, mining vehicle, salvage vehicle, or anything that fills the roles of ships but on the ground, repair vehicle, all that sort of jazz. We know that they've sort of like roughly got a Tavaran fighter planned, Xi'an cargo ship, mobile refinery ship, the ground mining vehicle was something they were concepting as well. There's quite a lot of stuff that it could be, and that I'm looking forward to this year, and I expect to see a good amount of straight to flyable things this year as well. Yeah, Idris as well. We're seeing an Idris mission in 3.9, so that's going to be Assault as part of the last, I believe, Arlington Gang mission. So mission 6 or 7, 6, I think. Of that will be to, maybe 7, be to attack an Idris. And you're going to need a big group of players to do that. I can't talk about specifics of EVOCATI, unfortunately, Brett. Wait, we can name our ships? We will be able to name our ships, yes, in the future. And I believe we'll have to have those names, at least CIG want us to be able to have those names displayable on our ships as well, in decals if we wanted to, as part of our aftermarket customization. Right. I'm going to dash off in a minute because I want to check on my dad and my mother and eat. I think they're here. Pretty sure they're here. So like they're isolating themselves in this house. So that's nice. Hope everyone else is doing well. Like genuinely, I know that a lot of people are going to sort of like be scared or panicky. Just don't be. No reason to be. Just be safe, civil, sensible. With 3 S's. I spell civil with an S. Not only did they hint on Origin ship, but they also hint the Crusader post a couple of weeks ago. What do you think could come, if anything? Or do you think they're referring to the Ares as something new? So there's a lot of stuff for Crusader. They could do shipwise, especially with a shipyard effectively opening up when the Orison landing zone's there. There's lots of architecture and branding and lots of other stuff that will be going into the Crusader line of stuff. I would love to see the Genesis in game. We could see some big things like the Jupiter like carrier ship from Crusader that's in lore. There's a load of stuff it could be. What else have we got? When can we expect animals in game? They're working on them. I know that. There's lots of concepts for them. Expect to see sort of like Ranta, sort of like moles / rats in caves, and Oni crabs, sort of like around Hurston. First, sort of like pretty basic, simple, like bats and rats to start with, before they build in more and more intelligent animals. We need better AI and NPCs in game and full schedules and the NPC scheduler / spawner despawner before really we see animals, or even before they even consider putting animals in the works. I've done a few videos on has the virus impacted CIG Studios at all. And in fact, CIG, a lot of their employees are working from home at the moment. It will have at least some short-term impact and disruption, but not a huge amount. Like they've all said, goals are still the same. It's not going to be a huge amount of disruption. They're all able to work from home, and they're a distributed studio anyway. They're prepared and ready for this anyway, just because of the way they work. So we might see, is it motorbike outside, a week or two delay with 3.9 would be my expectation potentially. So like that's the short-term worst case. Bored, a bit worried that this is going to wipe out 2 generations of my family. I hope all as well across the pond. I think a lot of people are worried about that sort of stuff. Just be safe, sensible. Keep your folks as safe as you can in the short to medium term. Try and get them so they don't get infected if possible. So minimizing contact with others and stuff like that. I'm even vetting the post and stuff and making sure the post's cleaned and opened before I give it to them. That sort of level of thing. Because the longer it takes before someone that's vulnerable to get this, the better. Because if they get it at all, because then we can at least understand the virus better. There's better treatments and better ways of managing people's symptoms. And hopefully the healthcare systems are significantly less burdened. Other than that, my family's doing pretty good. My dad's a bit depressed at the moment, but I'm sort of bipolar, so it's nothing that I haven't seen before with myself. Do you know if there's going to be a flight school in Squadron 42? Yes, I believe that there is, because Gilly was... a while ago, we had the sort of like flight school in-game anyway, but they sort of like got rid of it because the controls kept on changing. But yes, I would expect to see a flight tutorial. Are you excited about Space Whales? I mean, I'm excited about seeing animals in game and more things in game, and they're big and cool. Yeah, I mean, not particularly excited, but I think they're cool. I'm excited for any new things in Star Citizen. In 3.8.2, I mean, sledges and there's a lot of exploity stuff you can do in 3.8.2. I just don't think PvP 1v1 is competitive or sensible to do at the moment. When we get into 3.9, we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail. Should we be expecting Star Citizen Live today? Yes. Jay Lee's going to be there on Star Citizen Live, 7 PM UTC. And he's going to be looking at the UBE military uniforms, sort of vintage uniforms from the Second Tavaran War. And probably talking about a lot of stuff. I love Jay Lee. He is one of my favourite people. Origin Rover was sort of semi-planned for a while. We don't know when we're going to get it in game. Maybe it will be 3.9. Maybe that's the Origin thing that they were talking about. Can we get a brig pod for the Carrack? I would expect that we can probably get the prisoner pods in the Carrack or as cargo pods eventually in other ships. But there's going to be probably some modularity with those cargo pods. You've ordered a biosuit. Oh, that'll protect you. So Space Whale has multiple meanings, but Space Whales in game, they probably have been influenced by the term Space Whale of people spending a lot of money in games. Yes, I expect that is one of the things that influenced that whole idea in the first place. What else have we got? Anything else? Do you think ship armor will be in for Squadron 42 beta? Yes, but I don't think... The Squadron 42 beta is likely just to be internal beta for CIG. Potentially EVOCATI might get their hands on it just before it goes to launch, just to test out some bugs and stuff. But the physical damage system will be in for Squadron 42. That's the plan anyway. You prefer to play with the mouse? Yes, just for ease of use. I love my Verpal Constellation Delta and Throttle. It is amazing. But when I'm recording, when I'm messing around, and because I'm switching between first person running around my ship, to third person flying my ship, and first person flying my ship, and lots of stuff for camera angles and things, mouse and keyboard is just easier for me. Any news when the C2's Heckley Starlifter will be out? No. But I would expect to see it this year. They've shown us some of the white box for it, and Crusader and Mercury, the Crusader stuff looks like a focus of this year ship-wise. Right. You could see Tavaran characters potentially in Squadron 42. I'd hope we'd see that in the first one. Maybe we'll see a Tavaran crewman. Right. I am going to go and host someone else and jump off because I want to do a little bit of research into some stuff and get some food, check out some stuff, get some stuff planned for next week. Twitch. Thank you so much for people. What and when do you think the next ship sale will be? Stay safe, mate. I think I read that. Star Citizen 890J. I hope I read that out. I think I answered that whether I read it out or not, saying that it could be a lot of different things. But probably the Origin Rover or Origin ship they talked about. Something straight to flyable for 3.9 for almost sure. Very much looking forward to that. Thank you so much for people that have joined me here today. I'm planning to stream a lot more because I know a lot of people have gone a bit stir crazy in their houses. And thank you very much for Cameron for sending me a didgeridoo, because I made a joke about didgeridoo on comms. Yeah, thanks for that. That's not going to be annoying at all. I will stay hydrated, don't worry. I'll stay safe and clean. If you get ill, don't worry. Be sensible. Try not to infect other people. We're all in it together. Don't lick people's faces. Don't steal all the toilet roll. What else? Thank you very much to Robert Johnson for donating, even though he's given all his money to Twerk / Salty Mike, who has lost his job. But hopefully we'll be able to get him into full-time streaming, which will be amazing. Hanfcom for subscribing. Thank you very much. I love your face. Far Out. Thank you so much. From the Far Out Corporation. You're legends. $50. That's a lot of money. Hanath again with monies. See her with loads of knock. Hundreds and hundreds of knock. Shite for donating. The Sleep for chucking money at me. And Star Citizen 890 Jump. 890J. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. I love you all very much. Genuinely stay safe. Thank you so much for watching my stuff. And if you've got suggestions, you want to... Oh my god, I'm touching everything with my death virus. Got anything we want to talk about topic-wise, you can chuck it to me in my Discord or email me at contact@boredgamer.co.uk. I'll try and get a VIP thing out to Patreons and BoredGamer YouTube members for the weekend. We'll talk a bit about what's going on with life and stuff. Yeah. I want people to stay safe, but sensible and calm. Please do that. Be civil. Help your fellow man out if you can. All one. We're going to give Maya some love because he has a face. Bam. Flash raid Maya. I hope you're doing good, guys. You take care, and I'll see you soon. Peace.